What's up, y'all? Now, it's not Friday, but I do got a story time for y'all, okay? If y'all can hear something, if y'all can hear the people outside in my background, please ignore it. It's some kids, they playing outside. I gotta have my window up because I'm burning the instant and I need the negative energy from all story times to go out the window, okay? I need the energy to know where to exit. I'm gonna try to keep it pretty light. I don't want to trigger anybody. I know anybody, like somebody who hasn't been through something can listen to the story and not get triggered, but small things can trigger people that have been through certain things, because sometimes I watch other people's videos and I get triggered off of just like the small things that they say. We're gonna get right into the video. Before we do though, can you guys make sure you give the video a like? Stop what you're doing right now and like the video for me. Leave me a comment, let me know what you're doing, what kind of snacks you got. You tuning in for this tea, where you at? You watching with your homegirl, your boyfriend? Let me know. Tell them I said hey. Hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed. If you are, make sure your bell notifications is on so you can be notified when I post. If you want to comment throughout the video, feel free. Feel free. It's that type of time over here. Okay, we besties. All right, let's get into the story. So this is around the time that they had just built this fresh, brand new Popeyes in our, like not in our neighborhood, but like literally not even 10 minutes from our neighborhood. Me and Alicia went down there and we decided to apply because we needed a little cash, okay? This is, that's the age when your parents is like, you need to get a job, you need to get a job, you need to get a job for what? I don't know, maybe to pay our phone bill, but like, what do you want me to get a job for, ma'am? What bills? What bills? So anyway, yeah, this was a brand new story. So, all like the neighborhood kids and like people that we went to school with, they wanted to go and apply. So basically we was going to be working with pretty much people that we already knew. Fast forward, we get the job. Since the store was so new, we did not have like a proper system. So sometimes we would literally be in that store closing. Like we didn't know when to start cleaning up basically from the time that we closed. So we would be up in there real late. And mind you, I'm a person, like I'm not going to do anything. From what I know now and from talking to other people that worked at Popeyes after I quit that Popeyes and other Popeyes, they have washed dishes. They don't even wash them for real. They just run them through hot water. All the crust don't even be off. Just be cautious when you going out to eat to places in fast food, because fast food is very, very disgusting. The workers are nasty. They be so overworked and underpaid that they don't even want to do their job right. You know what I'm saying? But me, I wasn't doing that. And then this was a brand new store, so at first they wanted to do everything by the book. So we scrubbed the crap out of everything. So we would be closing until 12 a.m., 1 a.m., sometimes close to 2, literally. And my aunt got sick of that. She got sick of that real quick because she had to get up for work at around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And if I'm getting off at damn near 2 o'clock, no, it wasn't gonna fly. Anyway, we was working like over 40-hour weeks, and me never having had a job, I don't really have no bills to pay. So I'm thinking I'm making big bank, okay? Mind you, we was getting paid $7.25. I remember at one point it went up to $7.35. I'm working like a Hebrew slave for $7.35. Oh my God. If I knew. And then, to top it off, after I quit, like maybe 6 months later, they went up to $9. $9 whole. That was a big leap. I was so mad. In the beginning, there was mostly like teens and people. I think the oldest people that worked there were like 20 to 21 besides the managers. So it was like it was kids basically. But when school started coming back around, when the school year came back around, like a lot of the teenagers and stuff, they had to quit. I don't know, I guess their parents didn't want them working. So they had to quit or go to part-time, which means they would like have to get off they would come to work after school, which is like in the afternoon, the closing shift, but they wouldn't necessarily close the store. But me, since I'm homeschooled, my hours were pretty flexible still, like it stayed the same, and they had me as like a permanent closer at one point. I remember closing every single day and I hated it. After a lot of people quit, a lot of people went to part-time, they started hiring new people. As them people funneling in, it's just like I'm noticing they hired any old body. Like to me, it was any old body. I was used to the kid environment. Like, yeah, it was drama, everybody flirting with everybody, but at least everybody was in the same age group and it wasn't weird. So they started hiring any and everybody. They literally didn't care. At one point, we was overstaffed because we had been understaffed for a little minute. And then at one point, we were also overstaffed because people would come and go like this because they did not want to get paid $7.35 for all the work that we had to do. So people would come for like maybe 3 days and then quit, never show back up. So yeah, they started hiring these grown men because we needed cooks. We only had one cook for the longest. I don't know why it's so hard to hire cooks. I guess you gotta, I don't know, have experience because they don't want you to burn yourself, the hot grease and stuff. So we had one cook, and then the managers would like act as the substitute cooks until they could hire more. So they started hiring all these grown ass cooks, right? They hired these cooks. To my 17-year-old self, these cooks looked at least 24. To me, through looking from my 17-year-old eyes, 24 was old. Me knowing what I know now, your 20s and your 30s are not old. But for some reason, 24 was old. I'm thinking they 24 at the oldest. Spoiler alert, they were not. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and name them. The first guy, the first cook, we're gonna call him Ghost because he reminded me of Ghost off of Power. The other guy, we're gonna call him Tommy. Tommy's actually still black. I don't know if race matter, but these people, everybody was black that I'm going to be talking about except for Tana. So yeah, I'm thinking Tommy is 24 too, but Tommy claimed that he was 22. But Tommy looked old, okay? He looked older than Ghost, but he claimed that he was younger. And he did act younger, but men be childish, so I don't know. And mind you, 17-year-old me versus 22-year-old men, they seem old to me, you know? I don't know. I remember they hired these two other dudes, but they were in our age group. They were in my age group. And one of them was named Eric. Now, Eric is going to have something to do with it, not the other one, so I won't give him a name. So yeah, and also, if you watch my story times for real, you will know that I met like my first real boyfriend at this Popeyes, Drew. I'll put a Drew story time playlist down below because he turned out to be a complete weirdo, but this was before I met him. So before I met him, I did have a thing for Eric. Like, I thought he was cute. We were interested in each other, and I had known him before, so it kind of made sense. It never went nowhere, but it was just like, you know, somebody to talk to at work, flirt with. We were, I don't know, whatever. Y'all know how it is when you're a teenager. Everybody try to holler at everybody at the job, flirt with everybody, whatever. With that being said, the dudes in the workplace, they would also, you know, walk by you, grab your butt, smack your butt, whatever. Sometimes they would even grab your chest. It would get on my nerves, but it just never pissed me off all the way. It still was an invasion of privacy. Don't get me wrong. Just because I'm not pissed don't mean that you didn't make me uncomfortable or invade my privacy. Like, don't do it again, you know? But the dudes in there, they still just did what they want. Just think back to middle school, you guys. Like, the guys running in the hallway, smacking your butt and then running away, crazy. I really hated that. That's some of the stuff they would do. And then we got these new cooks. I feel like the new cooks that they hired, because at first they stayed to themselves, they were real quiet, came to work, did their job, and, you know, stayed out of our like little kid business. They felt like they weren't on our level, you know, because they were older. Looking back, I feel like they were just observing everything. Time is going by, and I noticed that like the cooks are getting more comfortable because we have to actively be talking to them, telling them what to drop and what people want fresh and stuff, or we go do it ourselves if they too busy. But yeah, they're getting more comfortable because, you know, we have to interact and stuff. So I noticed that Ghost starts talking, like not talking, but like taking an interest in Tana. Tana was the youngest out of all of us. She was 16. So yeah, I don't want to say targeting, that sounds like really bad, but she was his main focus, I'll say that. But mind you, Ghost flirted with everybody. He'd be like, hey, beautiful, you know, whatever. Like, he would give you like this arm touch, caress your arm, hey, beautiful, how are you today, stuff like that. But Tana, he was really like, he had tunnel vision on Tana for some reason. It was really cringy. Oh my God. It was so cringy because he had a nickname for her. I mean, it was like, the nickname was Snow Bunny, okay? It was so cringy because he would be like, hey, my little snow bunny, how you doing today, my little snow bunny? I remember our assistant manager in training, she called him out on it, and she said something like, what you doing? Like, that's a little girl. Like, why you being creepy? She was cool though. She was real cool. She was like one of us, but she called him out, and I feel like she was the only person that would have called him out besides like, I don't think nobody else would have called him out. I remember Ghost ended up being like, I know she's a little girl, I would never, I know that, and blah, 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 just whatever, just saying some BS because he looked embarrassed. So yeah, at this time, me and Tana were becoming closer. Mind you, this is before she left me stranded at Sonic. I'll leave that story time in the comments. I mean, in the description. We were becoming closer, and she would tell me like how she kind of like Tommy, because Tommy, oh Lord, Tommy's another story. He could really have his own story. Anyway, her and Tommy had been hanging out on their lunches, whatever. I think they had exchanged numbers. And mind you, Tommy claimed to be 22. I swear Tommy looked 26. But everybody knows that Tana is the youngest because everybody called her the baby. So, I don't know. Whatever. They were hanging out. Tana kind of liked him, so whatever. It was mutual, so I guess. Tana kicking it with Tommy. She's telling me how Ghost is making her feel uncomfortable. I'm like, girl, you need to tell a manager or just like ignore him. So Tana is like me. We don't like to overreact, I guess, or like blow things up because I don't know. You know, people like to gaslight you like, it's not that serious. Just, you know, whatever. Just try to deal with it. Just ignore it. I feel like that's what would have been said if we came and like Ghost hadn't did anything physically to us, you know, like touch us or whatever. They would have tried to tell us that. So she was like, well, I'm gonna just ignore it, whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay. Also, y'all, another thing, a lot of this was happening at nighttime. Like, we were the closing shift pretty much. We closed every night, almost every night that we worked. So yeah, a lot of this was happening at nighttime. The managers would be around, but I felt like everybody was just real slick with it. So I remember Tana coming in and she tells me to like go talk to her go walk with her to the back because we had somebody else on the register too. We were both coming in at the same time pretty much, but I was already there because, you know, y'all know if you watch me, I like to be everywhere at least 15 to 20 minutes early at the latest, at least. So yeah, we walked back to where they wash dishes at and stuff. So, and we're talking. And then Ghost is coming in for his shift. Ghost come in and he walk up behind Tana and wrap his arms around her waist. Like basically giving her a hug from the back around her waist, pressing her backside up against him basically. I skipped the part, mind y'all, before this. Ghost had commented on Tana's butt. He said something like, damn, how you a white girl with a fat ass like that? I was there. I heard it. It was weird. It was weird. So yeah, back to the situation. He gave her a hug from behind, right? Tana moves his hands off of her and she like turns around because she don't know who that is because he ain't say nothing. And Ghost is like, well, I can't hug you now. I can't hug you now. I had never seen him do that. So he was saying now as if he had done it before. And that doesn't mean that he necessarily done it before because men will say that. I can't hug you now. I can't hug you now. Or I can't touch you now. When did I say that you could touch me before? I remember men doing that to me. After he's like, I can't hug you now. He's like, what's wrong? And Tana's like, don't touch my butt. And he was like, I wasn't going to. You kind of pretty much already did. Not with your hands, but whatever. I don't know what to do. I'm just standing there like this. I know I'm saying it slow, but this happened quicker. So I am just standing there and listening. So Tana's like, I'm not comfortable with that. Basically saying that she's not comfortable with the way he just like came up on her and hugged her from the back. And he was like, oh, you're not comfortable now. Because people are walking by, like everybody's walking around all the time, but I feel like people are starting to like walk by slowly and listen and stuff. So I don't know if he get embarrassed or something. So he's like, oh, you're not comfortable now. Now you're not comfortable. And I'm like, what? Why? I don't know why he was speaking in that tense, like now, and you know, just kept saying now. By this time, we're not in the area where the dishes are. We're kind of by the freezer, which is like maybe 15 steps away. We're in that area, more so in the kitchen. So people are actively listening. And when Tana said she's not comfortable, and she was like, no, I was never comfortable with it. Ghost kind of switched for a second. He was like, man, get out of here. All right. You ain't gonna have to worry about me no more. All right. And I was like, all she said is she wasn't comfortable. It didn't take all of what he gave, you know? It should have ended at, I'm not comfortable. I don't care if this happened before. If she's not comfortable no more, she's not comfortable, even if it did happen before. That's how I feel. So he was like, all right, Miss Tana. All right, you won't have to worry about me no more. All right. Okay. So anyway, fast forward some more time. We see, I promise you, Tana and Tommy, their story is a whole nother story. I'm not even going to get into it, but Tommy was given the same thing that Ghost was given, except Tana actually liked him for some reason. I don't know why. But I can say after that incident, Ghost never talked to Tana. I'm not even sure if he even looked at her again. He was for real. She wasn't gonna have to worry about him. So y'all know how the workplace go. He was on to the next. I feel like Ghost had been there enough time to know who he could try. He had seen like who he couldn't pull certain stuff with, like the older girls that was probably like 19 and 20 and stuff. And then who else was left in our age range? I think me, Alicia, Tana, and then maybe one other girl that had the same name as me. I think she was like 18. I feel like he knew he couldn't try Alicia because Alicia just loud, and I don't know, I feel like she would tell everybody or something. That's what he thought, because Alicia was like the one who gossiped a lot. And then the other girls, I think that they were maybe too old for him. I don't know. For some reason, I was next on his radar. It was just like one day I noticed him starting to pay more attention to me. I think maybe a week or so had passed by. It wasn't that long. It honestly could have been days, because people in the workplace be on to the next so bad. I feel like they just want something at work to take their mind off of whatever they're going through. Who knows? Don't get me wrong though. In the past, he flirted, because I feel like Ghost just flirted with everybody. Ghost was good looking. Like, he really looked like Ghost off of Power. And, well, not look like exactly, but that's what he reminded me of. And he knew that at least he thought females would just eat it up if he gave them even a little bit of attention. Sir, I don't want your attention. I promise you, you do not have to, like, I'm not missing that from anybody. I'm interested in Eric. Eric is my age, probably 1 year older than me. And Ghost was giving dad vibes for me. I didn't want that. It went from a simple, hey, beautiful, to now to,
damn, you got a grown woman body.
Since when? First of all, I did not have a grown woman body. 17 me, I didn't. I don't even think I had hips. And we are wearing oversized t-shirts, hats, and khakis. How can you even tell? You've never seen me out of this uniform before. It progressed from them little comments like that to him giving me sexy look, or what he thought was sexy looks. I don't know. It wasn't cute. Maybe an older woman would have found that attractive. I found it gross, okay? I ain't like, why are you, sir? He was I-fucking me before I knew what I-fucking was. I remember one day he asked me how old I was, which I thought he pretty much knew that, like, the majority of us were teenagers. I don't know why he wouldn't have talked to somebody like closer to his age or whatever. I mean, 20. There was 21-year-olds up in there. Anyway, he asked me how old I was. I told him 17. His immediate response is,
"You almost legal."
I can honestly say that I didn't think nothing of it. Call me slow, call me naive, call me whatever you want. I did not think anything of it. So we started having a conversation. And he was like, what you gonna do when you turn 18? What you gonna move out? Everybody love moving out when they turn 18. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to move out, because I did. I did. I knew I couldn't survive on Popeye's little income, but I did want to move out. So he like, yeah, you can move out, but it's hard out here. You might need a roommate and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I want to move in with my friend Alicia. Like, me and Alicia were best friends at this point. So he told me, nah, you shouldn't move in with nobody that has never, like, been out on their own before, because both of y'all don't know what y'all doing. So it's going to be like a lot of bumps in the road. He was like, you're going to need a co-signer. I don't even know how you would even get a place. You would need a co-signer. You're going to need apartment insurance. Now, y'all, I know it's called renter's insurance, but he literally said apartment insurance. So he was like naming this list, and I was like, oh nah, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and stay home, because that sounds like a lot. I'm not ready to be grown. I changed my mind, like joking. So basically Ghost is like, nah, you need to leave the nest. All you need to find is a trustworthy person to help guide you along the way. I don't mind doing that, and just et cetera going on. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I got my aunts and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, I don't mind doing it. So if you ever need anything, if you have any questions, I'm here for you. I'm your guy. Literally, I'm your guy. This behavior actually goes on for a while, but let me tell you why I thought nothing of it. For one, it wasn't constant. It wasn't overbearing. It wasn't like super creepy. Like, he had never, besides the caress my arm thing, that's the only way he had touched me before. And then he would flirt with everybody. So basically he was doing it to everybody. So I'm thinking like, oh, that's just him. Like, he's the flirty type, So Eric. Me and Eric, we would talk, we would flirt. Like, we had, I wouldn't say chemistry. But we laughed. You know, we laughed a lot. Like, whatever, cool. We had a vibe. I guess Ghost was paying attention to that. I don't know why or what for. I don't know. All I know is when the trays stack up in the front, because we had trays, and then when it's like a big stack, because you know when you dump your trash, there's an area at the top where you can put your tray. When they stack up, whoever's on the register have to go get them and then walk them to the back so they can be washed. So that's what I was doing. I was walking the trays to the back, and Ghost is cooking. As I'm walking back to the front, Ghost says something slick like, yeah, you like them young niggas, huh? You like them young niggas. I'm a young girl, if you don't remember me telling you I'm 17. Then he want to talk about you almost legal. I forgot that. I was not almost legal. If it's not my birthday month, I'm not finna say I'm almost my next age. I'm so sorry. That's just how I am. So I was 17. My birthday month was months and months and months away. I'm not almost nothing. I'm 17. So that had me confused, and I'm just like, what? And he was like, yeah, I see you. But it wasn't like aggressive and angry or nothing. It was just like, I don't know. Maybe that was his way of flirting. I have no idea. Then he go on to say something like, just know your worth, that's all. So that confused me even further. So I'm like, is Eric around here talking shit about me? Like, do he know something about Eric that I don't know? And he walked away, basically. So now I'm confused, wondering, because it's not like I could really just go back up to him. Like, he said this in passing. We couldn't really talk like that, depending on what manager. Oh my god, we had this little manager. Her name was Eva. Oh, I'm pretty sure she was on the shift, because when she was there, we couldn't, no, talking, clean something. A rag better be in your hand if you did. If she ran that like a drill sergeant. Fast forward to this one particular day, one of the managers called in, and the other manager was literally on the way out, packed up all her stuff and everything. But yeah, that manager packed up all her stuff and she was on the way out. And then right before that, the manager called in. For what reason, I don't know, but we was not going to have a manager that night. So the manager, she stayed a little longer, maybe like an hour, but she had kids. We were waiting for another manager to come. We're going to call him Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles was a traveling manager. He's the one that hired me and everything. So we was waiting for him to come. It was going to take a few hours. So when the assistant manager in training, the lady that I was talking about earlier, when she came in, the manager left. So we only have an assistant manager in training that's cool as hell. Like, she was one of us. She wasn't even a manager yet. She did not care what we did. We was by ourselves for at least 2 hours. Y'all already know it was like recess in that bitch. We didn't have nobody watching us. And then there was like this conspiracy theory that the cameras were fake because everybody used to steal food. So we would be fired by now if them cameras actually worked. So they can't work. Like, you know, they don't work. It was this theory, like nobody knew if they worked or not, but we just assumed that they didn't. I'm at the front. I'm working with Alicia. Eric is working. Ghost is working. Tommy is working. Mind you, Alicia had like this slick thing for Tommy, and then later on, like, Tommy was trying to mess with Alicia and Tana. Later on, they fell out. Tana and Alicia fell out over it. It was crazy. But yeah, this day Tana not working, so Alicia on Tommy. Or actually, they was on each other. I ain't even gonna like do her like that. They was really on each other. My baby FaceTiming me. Okay, let me hurry up and finish. We all in there having fun. We're working, don't get me wrong, and we're not like rowdy and out of control because we don't want customers to, you know, report some stuff. Y'all, customers working at Popeyes reported you for the craziest stuff. I remember I got called racist by this non-POC woman. Guess what the reason was she called me racist? Because I didn't give her 5 sauces. Like, it was like a 2 sauce minimum, and she wanted like 5 of them, and I was like, no ma'am, I can't do that. And she was like, she didn't say nothing. She got an attitude with me, but then she called the store and reported me and said that I should be fired and blah blah blah. It was crazy. I got reported like too much for no reason. So yeah, we weren't trying to act all rowdy and stuff basically. But I'm about to go on break, and I was like, you know what, I want some fresh fries and I want some fresh popcorn shrimp, so I'm gonna drop it myself. So I'll go into the freezer to get the stuff out. I'm in the freezer. Guess who come in the freezer behind me? Ghost. So he like, yeah, what you up in here doing? And I'm like, I'm about to drop me some fries and some popcorn shrimp. And he was like, well, who told you you could do that? I'm the cook. I'm this, da-da-da. Let me do it for you. I got that for you, Miss Lady. Y'all, another thing I forgot. Miss Lady, everybody was a Miss Lady. I don't care how old you was, Miss Lady. I got that for you, Miss Lady. Miss whatever. He would call you a Miss. So he would do Miss your first name or Miss Lady. So I'm like, okay, thanks. I can do it myself though. And he was like, nah, I got that for you. Your hand's not for cooks. Like you a woman. And like, I don't know what he was saying. Basically like, I'm a woman, so I shouldn't have to cook my own stuff at Popeyes, basically. You know, my hands are supposed to be like soft and whatever. All kinds of BS. So anyway, yeah, I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, let's go drop these fries and this shrimp. And he was like, wait. And I'm like, what? He was like, you look so damn good today. And I was like, okay, thanks, Ghost. Like, can we go? And he was like, no, just wait. And I'm like, Ghost, I'm on break, not lunch. And he was like, well, let me just cook this for your lunch then, because you're going to have to wait for the shrimp to get ready. And you're going to also have to wait for the fries to get ready. And I'm like, bro, I'm hungry now. And he was like, well, just go up there and like, cause y'all, we used to eat out of the things. Like, say that somebody ordered popcorn shrimp and it's like only like 5 old shrimp left. We got to drop new shrimp. We're not going to give them, at least not on our ship. We're not going to give them none of the old shrimp. So we used to just like keep it in there until the shrimp get done and like eat out of it. Or that go for anything like, what else did they have up there? Like ripping chicken, shrimp, French fries, all that kind of stuff. We used to take the fries out of the fry pan and then put it in one of the little heat warming things. I don't know. If you worked in fast food, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, we used to just be up there eating. And that's why I say I didn't think the cameras worked, because if they saw us back there just eating like that, I'm pretty sure somebody would have said something to us. So yeah, he like, just go out there and eat that until like you go on lunch, and I'm gonna drop this for you, I promise. And I'm like, whatever, fine. I start going towards like, so I start kind of going around him to walk out the freezer, and he was like, wait. And I'm like, what? And he was like, just give me a kiss. And I was like, no. Okay. Ghost asked me why. Personally, I feel like if you ask for, first of all, why are you asking for a kiss? Secondly, if you ask for a kiss and the answer is no, do not ask why. That don't sit right with me. Why are you asking why? Because first of all, I didn't want to. That was the biggest thing. And then secondly, I didn't really kiss like that because first of all, I'm homeschooled. Okay, I'm at home like all the time. Who am I kissing? Like, yeah, I be going over to Chelsea house, my other friend Alicia house, like a few friends' houses and stuff, but I wasn't talking to nobody. Like, I just was never that person. If you want a membership, we already talked about this. We already talked about how I felt and what I thought I was, and you know, okay, you know. So yeah, I wasn't doing all that. I wasn't sexually active, nothing. I mean, I had a kiss before, like a peck, but nothing more than a peck, literally a peck. So yeah, he was like, why? You don't know how? And I don't know how he read into my eyes, my soul, but I felt embarrassed. I'm like, what? I don't know why I felt embarrassed. It was just like, and then he said it to like kind of play me. I was embarrassed. So he was like, I'll teach you. It's fine. I'll teach you. Don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. He then proceeds to get closer to me. And I was like, Ghost, no. I know, y'all. I know I'm talking slow, but this whole thing happened so fast. Next thing I know, he's in my face, giving me a kiss, shoving his tongue in my mouth. I just told you I don't kiss. You just said why you don't know. Why? Because you don't know how. Obviously, I didn't know how. His tongue is just in my mouth. Why did you think that I knew what the fuck to do? You're not showing me, not that I wanted you to, but you're not showing me your tongue is just shifting around in my mouth. And I'm uncomfortable now. So I push him off me. It didn't quite work. I did push him, but he just stopped. I don't think my push made him stop because that nigga was buff. He was buff. He was big and buff. So yeah, when he takes his tongue out of my mouth, he was like, damn, you really don't know how to kiss. I just told you that. So why did you proceed to still kiss me? I literally said, I just told you that. Because now I'm visibly upset, and I try to walk out the freezer again, and he stops me again. He gets in front of the freezer. This ain't no, I know some people might be like, why didn't you just go around him? Why didn't you scream for help or whatever? First of all, I don't even know why I didn't scream for help. It was so loud in there. I'm thinking like nobody's even gonna hear me, and I'm not trying to like make this be escalated to something more in this freezer, because like I said, we don't have no management. Nobody is like caring about where people are for real. I don't know. My brain, I don't know. One thing I have learned is never say, wait, oh, I would have did this and I would have did that, unless you're in the situation. Until you've been through it, don't tell me what you would have done, okay? Because some people freeze up. And I feel like that's what my brain did. It just froze up. So he's in front of me, and he was like, wait. Basically, he's in front of the freezer door talking about wait, like don't go off the freezer yet. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't want to be in here with you no more, and this. So he's like, all right, just calm down. Are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I just want to get out the freezer. It's cold as hell in here. This is the freezer. So I'm just saying all kinds of shit. And I'm like, I need to go check out people. I'm at the front, this. My break is over by this time, and And he was like, just calm down. He asked me again, you good? You straight? I'm gonna let you leave when I know that you straight. So I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Y'all, and the inside, I was freaking the out. On the outside, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Like, I really felt like he wanted me to act like nothing had just happened. So that's kind of what I did. So, yeah. Eventually, he opened the door. He let me out the freezer. He was like, all right, you go out first, and then I'm going to come out a few minutes later. Just make sure nobody's looking. And I'm like, nigga. I'm thinking, nigga, I don't give a who's looking. But I'm like, okay. So he finally moved out of the way of the freezer, and I leave the freezer. Mind you, my break wasn't up by now, but I was just like panicking, saying anything. I walk out the freezer, nobody cared, just like I thought. Everybody's doing what the fuck they wanted to do. When we got quiet, people used to play music on their phone and stuff. I mean, not quiet. When the store was empty and stuff, and we only had drive-through orders, people like play music on their phone while we working and shit. So yeah, that's what was happening. We had music on. Everybody was loud talking, laughing. They was all up in the dining area, sitting down, eating. Mind you, nobody is on break, but everybody's just sitting down, eating. So yeah, I go out there. I go back to my register, and I see Alicia in the dining area sitting down eating. And she was like, girl, where you been? Okay, we had a big freezer that you could physically walk into, and that's where we were at, me and Ghost. And then there was a little something in the front where you could just like easily pull the fries from. So, but then it didn't have shrimp and stuff in there. It had fries. So yeah, she was like, I dropped fries, and so-and-so dropped some ripping chicken. I dropped some for you. Where you been at? And I was like, I was in the freezer looking for shrimp. I didn't know that, like, whatever. I didn't know you was dropping ripping chicken. And she was like, yeah, here, you want it? I saved it for you, blah, blah, blah. So I go out there, and I'm eating the ripping chicken, and we just talking, and I'm really just acting like nothing happened, because I don't know who to tell. I don't know if I should tell Alicia, because I know Alicia gonna tell everybody, and I didn't want like this to be a thing. Long story short, like, I want to say it was a while later, not a long time, probably 4 or 5 days later, I told the assistant manager in training, because I felt comfortable around her. She was older and stuff, and she would see how ghosts act towards us, like the younger girls. So I told her, because I felt comfortable and I knew that she would believe me, because for some sick reason, people like to just be like, just act like when something happens to somebody, that person, the victim, is dragging it and they don't want to hear it. So, and I felt like if I told Eva that, ooh, and you know what, that's her real name too, I don't care. I felt like if I told her that, she would have been like, okay, just whatever, just go, just da-da-da. And I already felt like the lady didn't like me, so I wasn't comfortable talking to her. The other manager, her and Alicia were tight because they were the same, like they gossiped. So I wasn't comfortable telling her either, so I had to tell the other lady, the assistant manager in training. She said that she wouldn't tell anybody. She said that she would keep an eye out on me and all this kind of stuff. And I was really grateful. Like, that made me feel much, much closer to her. Okay, so at this point, I want to fast forward maybe a few weeks later. I think the assistant manager in training ended up telling somebody, because Ghost had a talk with the managers. He came to me, and then later on I found out he also came to Tana. he was asking me, like, did you tell anybody this? And they're saying that I'm messing with girls and doing inappropriate things and all kinds of shit. He was just like on me. So I was like, what do you mean? What would I have told them? Like, what's the problem? Like, you know, trying to figure out if he know that what he did was wrong, because it didn't seem like it that night. So he was like, no, I'm just checking. They on me, like they asking me this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know what the you want me to say, because mind you, we haven't talked in a long ass time. It was like, once he offended somebody or did something he knew was wrong, just like with Tana, he didn't talk to them no more because I was visibly upset. And we didn't talk. We hadn't talked since that night. Ghost ends up getting fired, basically, okay? Come to find out, Ghost was stealing the frozen food from the freezer. He was stealing chicken, seasoning. He was stealing all kind of stuff. And then on top of that, to top it off, Ghost was a felon. Ghost was a felon. I figured out Ghost was a felon maybe a week before he actually got fired. He got in a fight with another cook. And he was like, man, y'all motherfuckers want me to be back in prison. I'm not finna catch a charge for you motherfuckers, and this going off. So it was and the other cook was going at it. The other cook was calling him a pedophile, a pervert, and all kinds of stuff. And I was wondering why he was saying that. Like, I knew Ghost was older. I thought he was 24. I don't know why I had 24 in my head this whole time. I'm actually not sure if somebody told me that or I just assumed. But 24. I thought he was 24. Ghost was like 33. And I learned he was 33 after he got fired. I know for sure he was stealing. The fight happened, and then I guess the accusations, they had to just let his ass go. I really think the fight was like the icing on the cake for him. I heard they was doing an investigation because he was stealing food. Let me just elaborate real quick. When I say he was stealing food, I mean he was stealing raw chicken, whole packs of frozen fries, Popeye's secret seasoning recipe. Like, he was stealing inventory. We was taking food that had been cooked, and like, you know, we would kind of eat throughout the day, and then at the end of the day you have to count the chicken and throw the chicken in the trash. Depending on the manager, they would let us take the chicken home. But he was stealing raw inventory. So after the fight, they was like, okay, after the investigation, now we got something for real that we can fire him about. So yeah, after he got fired, everybody was talking about, that was the talk of the workplace for a solid month, because y'all know the workplace be messy, especially when it's full of kids. So I remember Eric just being like, yeah, that old nigga was on you. He was on you. Yeah, he liked them young and da da da. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, basically. And he was like, man, that old ass nigga. I'm like, how old was he? Because everybody just kept saying that. Like, them kind of like little slick comments. And he was like, yeah, man, that nigga was 33, 35 or some shit. I think he was 33 though. And I was like, what? Not that him being 24 made it any better, because you still stuck your tongue in my mouth without my consent. But what? If y'all, mind you, if my 17-year-old brain thought 24 was old, it thought 33 was like 43. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of Ghost. The felon part was what really got me, because do McDonald's and Popeyes and stuff hire felons? I don't even know. I guess everybody gotta have a job, but what? When I just thought back on everything, like, it was crazy that you would put a felon around all these kids. Why would you do that? That fight, mind you, I skipped over the fight, but that fight terrified me, because he was big and buff, and then the dude that he was fighting was like big. He was like bigger, not necessarily muscly, like just big, like tall and big, and they was fucking shit up in there. I remember they was fighting, and a whole tray of chicken that was about to get dropped into the grease, it dropped all over the floor. So after the fight, they sent Ghost home because Ghost started it, and they let the other dude stay because he was a cook too, but they like had him cool off or whatever. But when he came back 15 minutes later, why he dropped that chicken in the grease to serve? He was like, man, I don't give a fuck. You don't eat this fucking chicken. Fuck them, da da da. Why you mad at the customers? Why are you mad at the customers? I don't care. Call me a snitch. I'll be that, because I wouldn't want to eat no chicken that dropped on Popeye's disgusting floor. If y'all would have seen the floors back there, they were disgusting. Okay, the shoes that I used to go to work in, I didn't even walk into the house with. I would take them off and then walk in the house. They were that dirty. So I told the manager, and she asked the cook, and he got upset with me. I do not care. That's trifling. So yeah, she was like, so-and-so, did that all that chicken fall on the floor during the fight and blah, blah, blah? And he was like, no, that wasn't the chicken. I threw it away. No, he didn't. I don't know why she didn't check the trash can. She just took his word for it. No, he did not. I seen it. So yeah, that was basically a trifling Popeye story with P words in a workplace, basically. And I don't mean the P word that ends with no, yeah I do. Yeah, I do. It's giving P file energy. And if y'all know what P file is, then just put it together. That's what it was giving. There was a lot. Y'all, let me know in the comments if y'all have ever had a situation like this in the workplace or anywhere. Because I feel like I've encountered this too much at all of my jobs. Literally, I think the only job that nobody messed with me at was like maybe Five Below in Party City. And that could be because I wasn't there for that long. Comment y'all experiences down below if you feel like typing it out, or just say, yeah, girl, I've had an experience like this. You ain't alone. The workplace dudes, I don't know if the workplace dudes are worse than the dudes that you just like meet off the street. Well, technically them are dudes off the street because I don't know them. Let me know if y'all like this video by giving it a thumbs up. Also, like I said, leave me a comment. Feel free to comment more than once, more than twice. Comment as much as you want, girl, okay? We family over here. Also, if you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Make sure your bell notifications are turned on. If you want to join the membership, the link is in the description. Read all 3 tiers correctly before you join. And try to join from a laptop or a computer. I heard that's easier than joining from your phone. Okay? Y'all already know the vibes. I love y'all so much. What? I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for being here on this journey with me, listening to me tell all these crazy ass experiences. I promise you, it's like, it's a decent form of therapy. Y'all, I don't know, I'm almost 100% sure I'm gonna cut it out, but this video got me emotional, and I don't understand why. Those emotions just confuse me. I guess back then, my 17-year-old self, I did look at things a lot differently than I do now. But this third time worked me up, and I didn't expect it to. I don't know. So yeah, anyway, y'all already know the vibes. I'm gonna see y'all in my next story time. Bye. He like y'all, oh my god. Okay, okay. And then I actually remember my friends, my so-called friends, making fun of me because I was behind. And it didn't faze me. It didn't faze me until it did. And we'll get there. And why can't I get past this part? I mean, it's not like traumatic or anything, but it is making me uncomfortable to this day. I'm not doing anything because, first of all, I'm not embarrassed no more. I literally didn't know how. I don't care if I was 17, say whatever, but I didn't know how. So what? Hold on. I feel myself. Because, hold on. Her saying that she would like watch me made me feel like a lot better. And, ooh, shit. What the fuck? Okay. I felt myself getting emotional, and that shit just confused me. Cause this shit happened so long ago. Anyway, sorry, I don't know why the fuck I just got that loud. He did say y'all want me to go back to prison and shit. So we scrubbed the crap out of everything. We broke down the fountain machines, like all kinds of meticulous stuff that we did. Like this. Y'all know? And from here it gets weird. Cause really mentally I'm just fresh off of 16. So he just keeps saying, all right, Miss Tana, all right, you won't have to worry about me no more. I mean, y'all tripping up in here. Y'all don't know what y'all got going on. Saying stuff like that. And I'm just like, what? This wasn't even a situation to be mad at, or to be upset at. It should have been like, okay, I respect your boundaries. in your personal space, and I'm gonna keep it moving because he's older. He's older. That's how that should have went. Looking back, it is really crazy because, for one, like I said, Ghost didn't look older than 24. He acted young, and he didn't come off like that old creepy perv. I mean, he did do some creepy stuff by calling Tana like, hey, my little snow bunny, and da-da-da. That was weird to me. But I have actually met like creepier older men, even at 17, and he wasn't coming off like one of them. I feel like he was trying to, I don't know. I don't want to say act younger, but literally walking on the ceiling so goddamn hard. Ooh, my neighbors. They honestly get on my nerves. Wait, okay, I'm gonna definitely put this in the bloopers. Neighbor chronicles. My neighbor woke me up at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. one day, and he was like, F you, Meredith, F you, whatever. I don't even know if her name was Meredith or Myrrh or something. It was something with an M, Myrrh, you know, with that sound. I couldn't really hear what he was calling her. And he was like, I just called to check on my kids. I guess the lady upstairs, she finally packed up her kids and left that man because he sounded crazy. He sounded insane. So, yeah, he was like, I just called to check on my kids. I sent you a text message. How did you get fuck you out of I'm calling to check up on my kids? You know what? Don't ever call me, bitch. Don't call me no more. I was like, oh, my God. It's 8 a.m. Like, this is how he woke up. He need to go back to sleep and do it all over again. So he's like, whatever. Just bring my fucking kids back. Fuck you. Fuck you. Bring my kids back. I don't know what she's saying. And he was like, well, fuck you then. And hangs up. Y'all, that was maybe a week ago. It is this week now, and she brought the kids back. Do you want to know now how I know she brought the kids back? Because the kids are literally stomping, running, dropping dressers on my ceiling. So I'm like, Myrrh or Meredith, she done brought the kids back. He done sucked her ass back in. And I was happy that she left because he literally would scream. I can hear all of their arguments because they be so freaking loud. And she would just maybe yell. I think I've heard her yell I can count it on one hand how many times I've heard her yell back. And I was happy that she packed up her kids and left. But she done brought them back. Damn, Meredith, whatever your name is, damn. Shit. Not damn because I don't want them running on my ceiling. Like, damn, you need to get away from him. Because one night he was yelling so bad that I had contemplated calling the police. I was scared for them. And then he was yelling so loud that my daughter ran into the living room and hid under the table. Toxic. I don't know. I think Eva was around his age and she would flirt with all the dudes up in there. Ew. I just realized that because I caught Eva flirting with Eric before. And I was like, ma'am, telling him that she liked to take cold showers and this and that. Why are you telling? It was a lot that went on in there, okay? I'm just stick to the story. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna say her name because her name is her name is very uncommon and she definitely gonna know I'm talking about her. You know, I really feel like we thought they didn't work because the store was so new and maybe we thought that they didn't even have time to hook them up yet. Who knows? But for some reason, everybody thought they didn't work. Wait, hold on. My baby keep calling me. Let me answer this.